Benedictine and Cistercian monks in medieval England lived according to precepts articulated by Benedict of Nursia, circa 480 to 550, in his Little Rule for Beginners, Minimam Incoationis Regulam. While interpreting the text differently, they shared a vision of monastic life as a via dolorosa, a sacrificial path entailing hardship in the world for the sake of eternal glory. Faithfully observing his teaching in the monastery until death, we shall, through patience, share in the sufferings of Christ, that we may deserve also to share in his kingdom. Over the centuries, this vision persisted and intensified, influenced by successive waves of reform, as shown by a 13th century compilation of Cistercian history and teaching, the Exordium Magnum of Conrad of Eberbach, circa 1150 to 1221, which opens with a description of monasticism as a via paenitentia. By the time the Cistercian mother house was founded at Cîteaux in 1098, monasticism had become the highest form of satisfaction, the means of avoiding the eternal punishment of the damned by making amends to God. In this book we shall examine the works, prayers, treatises, homilies, and artwork of a select group of those described by Conrad as having striven to live a chaste and humble life among all the riches and glory of the world. Called to be labourers and pilgrims, making up what was lacking in the sufferings of Christ, see Colossians chapter 1, verse 24, through mortification, monks took up the challenge to cultivate detachment from the world through strict discipline, becoming impervious to sensory distractions, wholly absorbed in the constant presence of God and the promise of salvation. For martyrs during the first 4 centuries of the Church, such detachment had been a form of spiritual self-protection. Strength in a world hostile to their creed, ringing with the cry or whispering with the threat of crucifige, see John chapter 19, verse 6. Intolerance and the real possibility of death meant that Christians did not have to reject the world, since it had already rejected them. Their spirit of detachment was not directed towards the world as such, but towards their families and communities, so that they would be ready to forsake everything when the time came to bear the ultimate witness to their Lord. How far removed medieval monks may seem from this reality, yet it provides a valuable insight into their self-understanding and way of life. They were successors to the martyrs.